Hokage start with a thunder fruit. Chapter 41-60. Chapter 41 Graduation Exam. Feeling the understanding of the technique of Flying Thunder God and the perception of time and space ninjutsu in his mind, Muyun believes that as long as he is given time, he can learn the technique of Flying Thunder God. And he is about to graduate soon. As long as he becomes a ninja, he will be able to perform tasks, and then he will get a strengthening point. After returning home, Muyun sorted out some understandings and insights about time-space ninjutsu. After completing the necessary daily practice, he went to bed and rested. Early the next morning, Muyun came to the ninja school. As long as he completed the graduation assessment, he could go to perform the task and harvest and strengthen it. Hey, you guys said, Muyun taught Ninji Hyuga a lesson yesterday. Will the Hyuga family just let it go? Definitely not. I think Muyun is miserable, and the Hyuga family will definitely take revenge on him. Okay, I won't let it go. The Hyuga family had a civil strife last night and suffered heavy losses. I can't protect myself. Where can I take care of Muyun? No way, there was a conflict with Muyun just now, and there was a civil strife that day. Isn't it a coincidence? It's a coincidence that I don't know, but I know curiosity will kill the cat, so shut up. Hearing the chatter coming from his ears, Muyun twitched the corners of his mouth. These little brats are not very strong, but they are very curious. At this moment, a ninja from the Hinata family who came to send Hinata to school happened to collide with Muyun. This scene happened to be seen by a group of little kids, and there was a lot of discussion for a while, and they all felt pity for Muyun. Look, that ninja from the Hyuga family is looking for trouble with Muyun. It's over, it's over. I know that person. It's the shinobi Hyuga Ryosuke of the Hyuga family. He is very strong. Now Muyun is miserable. Hearing these voices, Muyun twitched the corners of his mouth. Obviously it was just a chance encounter, but when they came to their mouths, it became a trouble to find himself. His imagination was really rich. Hyuga Ryosuke looked at Muyun in front of him. His face changed, and there was a deep fear in his eyes. The appearance of Muyun's killing spree last night was deeply imprinted in his mind, and he could not get rid of it. For Muyun, every ninja of the Hyuga clan already had a psychological shadow. Lord Muyun. Hyuga Ryosuke gave a frightened cry and left the ninja school as if he turned around and ran away. Muyun was a little speechless. He hadn't said anything yet. As for being so frightened. You are also a Junin after all. And just now. The little kids who were still talking about this scene instantly became petrified. Just now, what was the name of the Lord Shanjin of the Hyuga family? Muyun. I can't hear it wrong, right? Lord Muyun. What's the matter? What's going on? For a time, the eyes of the little brats looking at Muyun changed greatly. No matter what happened, they all knew that Muyun was no longer the Muyun that he used to be. Ignoring everyone's shock, Muyun went straight to his classroom. Students, today's class is cancelled. Muyun has applied to Master Huiying for early graduation, and today all the students are going to participate in Muyun's graduation assessment. Uruka's words directly ignited the entire classroom, and everyone looked at Muyun with an incredible look. Mr. Muyun, you applied for early graduation. Why? Regardless of the fact that Ino was still in class, he went directly to Muyun's side to ask. His face was full of anxiety. Muyun smiled and said, with my current strength, it doesn't make sense to stay in school anymore. If you want to continue to become stronger, you can only apply for graduation to perform tasks. My current strength is still too weak. To protect you, I must race against time to become stronger. Muyun's words made Ino's face flush red, and he said, I hate it. Who needs your protection? I don't need it. It's dangerous to carry out a mission. Are you really okay? Muyun reached out and rubbed Ino's little head, and said, don't worry, I won't leave you alone. Hinata on the side looked at Ino enviously. Hyuga Hazu was very knowledgeable and blocked the news according to Muyun's words, so Hinata still didn't know that Muyun was the culprit of the Hyuga family. When I came to the training ground, there was already a ninja waiting for Muyun. As long as Muyun defeated this ninja, he would be able to pass the graduation assessment. When he saw the face of this ninja, Muyun's mouth twitched obviously. The ninja who was waiting for Muyun in the field was Konoha Kamijin, Hong Yuhi. That's right, in the mere graduation examination of Shimanen, the third generation actually arranged for him the Shangnin, Yuri Hong, as his opponent. In the whole Konoha, who does not know that Yuri Hong is a top illusion ninja, and although Muyun has shown great strength, he has not shown any talent in illusion. The significance of this move by the three generations of Hokage is self-evident. He is also afraid that Muyun will die in the middle of the mission, so he will try his best to make it difficult for Muyun to pass the assessment. Chapter 42 Liguang Blade, Defeating Yuhi Hong. The third generation is deliberately not letting me pass the test. Is it because I am afraid that I will die outside when I become a ninja and perform a mission? Muyun looked at Yuri Hong with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Unfortunately, what the three generations didn't know was that his illusion skills were no worse than others. All in all, he is an all-around powerhouse with no shortcomings. Didn't you say today is Muyun's graduation assessment? What is Yuhi Hong Shangjin doing standing in the arena? Is it possible that Muyun's opponent is Hong Yuri? Can't it be tolerated? A lie. Are you sure this is Muyun's graduation assessment, not the scene of his death? For a time, there was a lot of discussion in the entire exercise field. As Konoha Joinin, Yuhika is still a beauty, so her popularity is naturally not low. Hello, Mu Yunjin, the content of your assessment today is to hold on to my hands for 10 minutes. As long as you can persist for 10 minutes without losing, you will pass the assessment. Saying that, Yuri Hong felt a little disapproving in her heart. A little kid from a ninja school just held a graduation assessment, and the third generation actually sent herself as Muyun's assessment object. The most important thing is that this assessment standard set by the third generation has lasted 10 minutes in her hands. Yuri Hong is almost certain that in his own hands, Muyun can hold on for 1 minute and it is not bad. How come 10 minutes? As for Yuri Hong's thoughts, Muyun also guessed roughly, without any nonsense. He said directly, please advise, Yuri Hong is on the shinobi. Hong Yuhi nodded, showing no politeness at all. Water done, water whip. Yuri Hong quickly formed a seal, and the water whip attacked Muyun, without any humility as a Shangnin, and shot directly. Muyun didn't have so many bells and whistles, and directly greeted the water whip. With a simple punch, the target was the water whip that attacked him. Because of the fact that there are no shortcomings in the balance of attributes, Muyun's taijutsu strength is also at the level of ninja, and there is no pressure in the face of ninjutsu like the water whip. Yuri Hong's eyes widened, looking at Muyun's movements. She couldn't react for a while. Use your fists and your own ninjutsu to be hard on the front. Matekai wouldn't dare to do that, would he? Is this kid crazy? It was just the next moment that Yuri Hong watched her ninjutsu being blasted by Muyun with one punch, and then Muyun charged directly towards him. Not good. Red Yuhi's complexion changed, and her hands quickly formed a seal, water escape, water formation wall. Muyun's fist hit the wall of the water formation and was blocked for a moment, then the wall of the water formation went straight. Then crashed. Taking this opportunity, Hong Yuhi has retreated to a safe distance, and her hands have completed the seal, illusion, tree-bound kill. For a moment, Muyun felt that his body had lost consciousness and stood motionless, while thick trees were entwining towards him. Seeing this situation, Muyun knew that he was caught in an illusion, so the spiritual power of the Shangnin level burst out, and everything around him was instantly broken like a mirror. What? Yuri Hong looked at Muyun in horror. How could her illusion be broken so quickly and easily? Is this really a ninja school student? Even Hatake Kakashi wouldn't be able to break his illusion so easily, right? Good chance, shave. Taking advantage of Yuri Hong's stunned moment, Muyun came to Yuri Hong's side like a ghost, thunder fist. The violent thunder and lightning wrapped the entire fist, and Muyun slammed down Yuhi Hong with a ruthless punch. Feeling the violent power of this punch, Hong Yuhi shuddered in her heart and instantly woke up, but it was too late to dodge it. Muyun's fist directly hit Yuri Hong's abdomen, and then Yuri Hong turned into a piece of wood and fell to the ground. It's a substitute. Little brother Muyun, don't be distracted in the battle, I won. Holding Kuwuong around Muyun's neck in her hand, Yuri Hong breathed a sigh of relief, and almost capsized in the gutter. There is nothing wrong with the 3 generations of Hokage sending her here, this Muyun is too perverted. Yuhi Kojo ninja, it's a very fatal thing to let down your guard before confirming your victory. Muyun's voice sounded faintly, and Muyun, who was held by Yuri Hong's Kuwu's neck, turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared in an instant. Yuhi Hong's pupils shrank, and she said in shock, "Is it a shadow clone? When you lost, Yuhiko Joinin." Muyun's voice came from behind Yuri Hong. Yuri Hong suddenly turned her head, and saw Muyun standing behind her at this time. Muyun's index finger and middle finger were raised together, and there were lightning flashes on his hand. A lightning flash extended from his fingers and stopped less than 5 centimeters away from himself. The dazzling lightning was extremely cool. Feeling the power of this move, Hong Yuhi showed a smile on the corner of her mouth and said, "It seems that I lost, it's really amazing, what's the name of this move?" Muyun said lightly, "Lightning Blade." Chapter 43 Fool Sasuke. Muyun slowly dissipated the thunder light from his hand and said, "I've passed the test now, right?" Yuri Hong nodded and said, "Congratulations, Muyun. You are now a Jinin, and as a reward for defeating me, this forehead will be given to you. Originally, your forehead guard will be delivered to you in the afternoon. Wouldn't you mind my old forehead guard?" Yuri Hong took off the forehead guard from her forehead and handed it to Muyun asked with a smile. Muyun took the forehead guard and said, "Although I dislike it, there is nothing I can do. As for my new forehead guard, I will give it to you generously, and I will not take it." Yuhika rolled her eyes when she heard the words. As long as she wanted to, even if she paid a high price, there would be countless people vying for her forehead protection. At least Sarutobi Asma would definitely pay for the forehead protection. This guy still looks disgusted. Look. As a Jonin, Hong Yuhi was still quite busy, and left in a hurry after finishing the assessment, but the practice field at this time was a blast. Hey, did I read it right? Muyun actually defeated Yuhi Kojinin. Am I dreaming? Could this be Muyun's true strength? It's really terrifying. I didn't expect that the students of the same school would have such a big gap. This is too unreasonable, right? All the students and teachers who came to watch Muyun's graduation assessment on the entire training ground were in an uproar. They all know that Muyun is very strong, but they didn't expect to be able to defeat Shinjin head-on. This is simply a fantasy. As soon as Muyun walked out of the training ground, Ino, Naruto and others immediately surrounded him. Ino couldn't wait to ask, "Muyun, you actually defeated Shinjin, how did you do it?" To Ino's question, Muyun replied indifferently, "It's very simple, if you work hard, you can do it too." Ino pouted, dissatisfied with Muyun's apparently perfunctory answer, but did not continue to ask. Naruto said with excitement on his face, "Muyun, you were so handsome just now, you can beat the ninjutsu with one punch, and more importantly, it's unbelievable that you can defeat Shangnin." Speaking of this, a serious look appeared on Naruto's face. "However, I will never lose to you. Look, one day, I will catch up with you." Muyun shook his head with a smile and said, "Okay, I'm waiting for that day to come." Although he was briefly ahead of Naruto and other protagonists, Muyun was not complacent, he was very clearly, how quickly Naruto's strength has improved in the later stage. It can be said that he has become a powerhouse at the 6th level in just a few years, which is so terrifying. At the same time, Muyun also saw Sasuke standing aside looking at him unwillingly. I saw Sasuke clenched his fists tightly and his face was extremely ugly. Seeing this, Muyun said directly, "Are you confused?" Hearing this, Sasuke raised his head instantly. "Why? Why did you become so powerful? How can the gap between you and me be so obvious? Muyun looked at Sasuke and said in a deep voice, "There is no reason, I can be stronger than you, it is just because I work harder than you, no one's strength is obtained for no reason. You are weaker than me, it only means that you are lazy than me." Flickering a handful of Urzu, Muyun left the school directly, leaving Sasuke standing there with a tangled face. I must have worked hard, right? Sasuke's heart slowly became doubtful, but at the same time he was determined to double his cultivation and catch up with Muyun's pace as soon as possible. If Muyun knew what Sasuke was thinking, he would definitely say, "Boy, you are still too young." The news that Muyun defeated Shengnan quickly swept through the entire Konoha village like a hurricane. In addition, the 3 generations of Hokage deliberately created momentum, so the name of the first genius in the history of Muyun and Konoha was extremely loud, and almost no one knew about it. The character Muyun. Lord Hokage, the name of the first genius in Konoha's history, you put it on me, right? Except for the 3 generations, Muyun could not have imagined that anyone would be bored and put such a name on his own head. 3 generations of Hokage shook his head helplessly. The reason why I made Yuhika your test subject is to let you spend the past few years at the ninja school with peace of mind, but I didn't expect that Yuhika would lose to you. Just in hand. You brat defeated Shenzhen in public, the news cannot be concealed, and since that's the case, it's better to make your reputation even louder. Muyun said speechlessly, "But, Mushuyu is in the forest, the wind will destroy it, aren't you bringing hatred to me?" 3 generations of Hokage were stunned for a moment, and then laughed loudly, "So you are also afraid sometimes?" "Don't worry, it's just a false name, there's no threat, and now is not the time of war. By the way, because you graduated early, I can't assign you teammates and guide the Jinnen to form a team. Do you have any ideas?" Chapter 44 Join Anbu. Muyun spread his hands and said, "Everything obeys Lord Hokage's orders." The 3 generations of Hokage nodded with satisfaction and said, "In view of your strength, I plan to incorporate you into Anbu and let you practice in Anbu for a few years." Although the tasks performed by Anbu are generally more dangerous, it is not a time of war after all, and the strength of Anbu ninjas is relatively strong, and your own strength is not weak, so there is no major problem in safety. Of course, I respect your own choice. Listening to the words of the 3 generations of Hokage, Muyun thought. Becoming an Anbu ninja is actually a good choice. The missions you are exposed to are generally killing missions, which will help you gain reinforcement points to improve your strength. The only downside is that you are not so free, and the time is basically very tight. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the system task. Close black lens bracket. Task name, Join Anbu. Close black lens bracket. Task introduction. The host has successfully passed the graduation assessment, and now he has received an invitation from the 3 generations of Hokage to join Anbu. Please agree to the invitation of the 3 generations of Hokage. Close black lens bracket. Task completion reward, 100 enhancement points. Close black lens bracket. Punishment for mission failure, none. Close black lens bracket. Looking at the mission released by the system, Muyun said directly, "Okay, I agree to join Anbu." Originally, Muyun thought it was a good choice to join Anbu, but now that the system has released tasks, the fool won't join. Although the 100 reinforcement points are a bit small, no matter how small the mosquito is, it is still meat. After all, such a simple task can be completed with a simple gesture. How can the task reward be so high? The 3 generations of Hokage showed a gratified smile and said, "Okay, starting from tomorrow, you will be an Anbu ninja. Tomorrow morning, I will let your captain go to your house to find you and take you to the Anbu base. Today is your last leisurely day. Now, go back and have a good time with Ino and the others. After entering Anbu, there will be no time." After Muyun nodded, he left the Hokage office, and the rewards of the system arrived just after he left. System, use 100 strengthening points to strengthen the technique of Flying Thunder God. In an instant, Muyun felt that there were a lot of insights into the Flying Thunder God technique in his mind. At this time, Muyun had already mastered the Flying Thunder God technique. It's just because it's a preliminary grasp. The distance that can teleport is only 1 kilometer, and there must be a special kunai to do it. For Muyun, there is almost no help. With the ability of the Thundering Fruit, the short distance speed is even faster than the Flying Thunder God technique, and it is more flexible. However, Muyun believes that when the mastery of the Flying Thunder God technique improves, it will definitely help him a lot. Although the Thunder Fruit is very fast, it has no advantages in long-distance movement, and it cannot lead people to move, so the technique of Flying Thunder God must be mastered. After returning home, Muyun called Ino, Naruto, Shikamaru, Hinata and others to have a meal together. After this time, I don't know when they will be able to get together again, so everyone talked happily. Ino and Hinata even shed tears, unwilling to part with Muyun, and only calmed down with Muyun's comfort. Early the next morning, there was a knock on the door of Muyun's house. Muyun, who was already prepared, wore a fitted black ninja suit and opened the door. To Muyun's surprise, it was Uchiha Itachi who appeared at the door. Uchiha Itachi. Looking at Uchiha Itachi with a smile on his face, Muyun shouted with some doubts. Uchiha Itachi nodded and said, I didn't expect it to be me, right? Your team in Anbu is the team I led. In other words, from today onwards, I will be your captain. By the way, thanks to you, Sasuke's daily practice is even harder now. Yesterday, he even practiced until his chakra was exhausted and fainted. Uchiha Itachi's words made Muyun's mouth twitch. He didn't expect Urzuzi to be so ruthlessly provoked by him that he actually fainted from practice. He is also a talent. Muyun frowned and asked, is Sasuke all right? Saying that, Muyun carefully observed Uchiha Itachi's face. This guy is an out-and-out brother-in-law. Sasuke made himself dizzy because of his own words. This guy won't take revenge on him, right? Although I am not afraid, I will definitely be targeted, and it will be troublesome at that time. There was no expression on Uchiha Itachi's face, and he said softly, it's just that the chakra is exhausted. It's no big problem. Speaking of which, I have to thank you. If it weren't for you, Sasuke wouldn't be praised by his father. Muyun felt speechless in his heart. Uchiha Fuyu was too perverted, right? Does his son have to faint in practice to get praise? It's scary. Okay, stop talking nonsense. Come with me, I'll take you to the Anbu base. After that, Uchiha Itachi turned and left, and Muyun followed closely. Chapter 45. You only have 10 seconds. Uchiha Itachi intends to test Muyun's strength, and starts to speed up after leaving the residential area. Although it was no secret in the village that Muyun defeated Yuri Hong, but hearing it was false and seeing it was true, Uchiha Itachi also wanted to see where Muyun's limit was. It was only very soon that he was shocked, because he found that no matter how fast he increased his speed, Muyun could follow him steadily, and his breathing was steady, and it seemed that he still had spare power. Good guy, Muyun's strength is probably comparable to mine, right? Sasuke has little hope of surpassing him. With a sigh in his heart, Itachi Uchiha took the initiative to reduce the speed, because the purpose of the test has been achieved, there is no need to continue the high-intensity movement. Most importantly, the Anbu base is here. Muyun looked at Anbu's base, and first of all, he felt that it was very hidden. The entrance to the depths of the forest, it is estimated that other than Anbu's own people, it would be difficult for anyone to find it. After entering the base, the darkness that Muyun imagined did not appear. The underground base was brightly lit, and people came and went. It was hard to imagine that this was the base of Anbu. Are you surprised? I had the same expression as you back then. Uchiha Itachi, who observed the change in Muyun's face, couldn't help but speak. Muyun also nodded and said, I'm really surprised, I thought Anbu's base would be cold and dark. Uchiha Itachi smiled and said, come with me, Every ninja who joins Anbu needs to receive his own equipment, and at the same time give himself a code name so that he can be called in the mission. Of course, this code name is up to your own mind. You can take it if you want, or you can take it if you don't want to. Mu-yun said, "Just call me Yun, it's simple and easy to remember." Uchiha Itachi said, "You can do it if you think so, don't ask me." Soon, Mu-yun followed Uchiha Itachi to receive his own Anbu uniform and a grimace mask. Compared with animal masks, Mu-yun prefers this grimace mask, and those animal masks are all dogs, cats, foxes, etc. They are ugly. Immediately afterwards, Mu-yun came to his team's station, where 3 ninjas were already waiting. "Captain, you are back. Is this the newcomer that the 3 generations of Hokage arranged for our team?" "What, it's actually a kid, isn't that a burden? I don't know what the 3 generations of Hokage think. Now our Anbu first team's name will definitely not be preserved." Although Mu-yun, he was wearing Anbu's uniform with a grimace mask, but from his figure, he could see that he was just a child. As an elite Anbu, these 3 ninjas will certainly look down on a child, not to mention that Anbu is carrying out some extremely dangerous tasks. They will definitely have complaints if they put their lives in the hands of such a kid. Just imagine, taking such a kid on a mission, wouldn't that add a burden to them? In the event of an accident, the entire team will be in danger. "Quiet me all," Uchiha Itachi said in a deep voice. "Yun was personally assigned to our team by Hokage-sama. He is very strong. Don't underestimate him because of his age." But Mu-yun walked to a chair indifferently and sat down without speaking. "Strong strength. Captain, look at him, he's just a kid, how strong can he be? Could it be an elite endure?" With that said, the Anbu ninja looked at Mu-yun. "Little devil, I advise you to quit Anbu. Elite genin may be a genius on the outside, but in Anbu, elite genin is not even a fart. Anbu is not playing a house. I don't have the heart to take care of a child, ha ha ha." His voice was full of disdain, but what he said was right. Elite genin is really nothing in Anbu. But now he obviously ignores one thing, that is, the minimum standard for entering Anbu is chunin strength. Uchiha Itachi watched all this with a smile and did not stop it, because in Anbu, if you don't show your strength, you will be targeted everywhere, and there will be hidden dangers when you perform tasks in the future. Let them know Mu-yun's strength in advance, so that they can perform tasks with confidence in the future and put their lives in the hands of Mu-yun. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the system task. Close black lens bracket. Task name, Anbu Fame. Close black lens bracket. Task introduction. The host was provoked in Anbu. How can he swallow his voice? Ask the host to teach this Anbu ninja a lesson, establish his position in the team, and become famous in Anbu. Close black lens bracket. Quest completion reward, 1000 enhancement points. Close black lens bracket. Punishment for mission failure, none. Close black lens bracket. The system's voice echoed in his mind. Mu-yun slowly got up. As an adult, you need to be responsible for what you said. I will give you a chance to kneel down and apologize and admit your mistakes, otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. You only have 10 seconds. Chapter 46 Anbu Leeway. The Anbu ninja was stunned for a moment, then sneered, "Ha ha ha, kid, what did you say? Let me kneel down and apologize." Speaking of this, the face of the Anbu ninja mask turned murderous. "Little devil, don't be too arrogant, this is Anbu." Just when the Anbu ninja wanted to say something, Mu-yun's body appeared directly beside him. "Sorry, 10 seconds have passed, and what you said is all nonsense." Thunder fist. Boom. This Anbu ninja was directly blown away by Mu-yun's punch, and slammed into the wall behind him, his entire body embedded in the wall, looking very miserable. Firefox. The other 2 Anbu ninjas exclaimed. They thought that Firefox would give this kid a hard lesson. Who would have thought that he would be kicked away by this kid? It was incredible. "Little devil, you've completely angered me, I'm going to tear you to pieces." Firefox is worthy of being an Anbu Junin, and his fighting ability is really good. After being blasted by Muyun with a punch, he can actually break free from the wall by himself. Okay, if you want to fight, go to the training ground, this place can't stand the toss of the two of you. Uchiha Itachi appeared in front of Firefox and stopped him from the seal. The destructive power of the battle between the two Shinjin is very strong. This room is so big. Once the two fight, the whole room will be reduced to ruins. Each team in Anbu has only one lounge. If it is destroyed, where did they go to rest? Hearing this, Firefox stopped the movement of his hands and said to Muyun in a deep voice, "Little devil, how about going to the training ground for an upright battle?" Up to now, Firefox no longer dared to underestimate Muyun, and it was able to punch him away when he wasn't paying attention. Although he had no defense at the time, it also showed the strength of Muyun. To be able to do this, Muyun is at least an elite Chunin. "I'm afraid you won't succeed." Muyun said something without caring. Since the system asked him to take this Firefox leeway, of course he would not refuse. At the Anbu training ground, Muyun and Firefox stood in the field, and many Anbu ninjas came to watch the battle. "Yo, isn't that Firefox? He's fighting a kid. Who is this kid? I don't remember that Anbu has such a person. And he dares to fight Firefox, his courage is commendable. Courage is a piece of shit, it's called life and death. I really don't know. How did a kid join Anbu? Hey, this is a good thing. As we all know, Squad Itachi is the #1 squad in Anbu, but with the addition of this kid, it will definitely drag Squad Itachi's back, and the name of Squad 1 will not be able to be kept. We all have a chance." For a while, the eyes of these Anbu ninjas looking at Muyun became extremely kind. The reason is very simple. The Itachi team, as the first team of Anbu, has the highest level of resources and honor in Anbu. Because of Itachi's powerful strength, they usually can only envy them in their hearts. Besides, the other 3 members of Itachi's team are not weak either. It is unrealistic to want to steal their first team's name. But now, the appearance of Muyun gave them hope. How strong can a mere kid be? As long as the overall strength of the Itachi team is dragged down, each of their teams has a chance to become the first. Of course, these comments also reached Muyun's ears. Muyun just smiled, but did not react too much. It's just a group of frogs at the bottom of the well, there is no need to care about them. Fire escape, dragon fire technique. The Firefox on the opposite side has completed the seal, and the huge dragon fire technique roared towards Muyun, with a scale of several meters. The scorching heat wave was blowing towards the face, but Muyun did not change his face. Razor. The razors of the same scale were instantly condensed and formed, and they collided fiercely with the technique of dragon fire. The collision between the snake and the dragon, no matter how you look at it, the dragon will definitely win, but at this moment, Muyun's thunder snake violently tore apart the dragon fire technique when it first came into contact, and then tore at the Firefox. By the way, what a strong lay done, careless. Firefox's complexion changed, and a blinking technique instantly avoided Razor's attack, and then his hands formed a seal, wind done, a big breakthrough. The howling wind spewed out of Firefox's mouth and swept towards Razor. Firefox still understood the truth of Feng Cly. And the result naturally made Firefox quite satisfied, and saw the violent thunder snake collapse in an instant. But before Firefox could be happy, it heard Muyun's voice, "Thunder insect." The next moment, the scattered thunder snakes gathered directly in the air into hundreds of thunder bugs, instantly surrounding Firefox. A trace of violent lightning flashed continuously, and Firefox's clothes were torn by lightning. Snapped. Just as Firefox was about to make a move, a thunderbug landed directly on him, the lightning burst, and a blood hole the size of a thumb appeared on Firefox's body, and the blood was gurgling. Chapter 47 Firefox loses, Royal Sister Civet. Don't act rashly, you've already lost. Muyun's faint voice resounded in Firefox's ears, and the complexion under Firefox's mask changed for a while, A pair of fists clenched and loosened, loosened and clenched, and finally said weakly, "I lost." Hearing Firefox admit defeat, Muyun dissipated the thunder bugs instantly, turned around and left the training ground. I don't have dazzling eyes. Firefox lost to a kid. This is really surprising. This is really bad. Originally, the strength of the Itachi team was the number 1 in Anbu, and now with a terrifying little devil, the combat power is afraid to be even better. What a terrifying kid. This Lei Dun is so hard to guard against. It doesn't need a seal. How did he do it? It's also possible that it's not Lei Dun. Anyway, this kid must not be provoked. Isn't it Lei Dun? Could it be Shuiji Boundary? Well, who knows? But our idea of becoming the number 1 team of Anbu may not be realized. But is this kid too strong or is Firefox weaker? Still standing under the Firefox mask in the training ground, the corners of his mouth twitched, and a majestic killing intent was instantly released. If anyone thinks that my strength has weakened, even if I can fight. In an instant, the Anbu ninjas who were still talking about died suddenly. Just kidding, Firefox is a famous Anbu ninja, and none of the Anbu ninjas present are his opponents. As for attacking in groups. Stop kidding, I really thought Uchiha Itachi was a decoration. Firefox snorted coldly and left the training ground, but the fear of Muyun in his heart became more and more intense. If he was on the battlefield just now, he is probably dead. Ding! Congratulations to the host, for completing the system task. You will be rewarded with 1000 enhancement points. Close black lens bracket. Was a hint of joy on Muyun's face, and he hurriedly said, "System, use 1000 strengthening points to strengthen my body." After joining Anbu, the tasks performed are not ordinary tasks, and the risks are generally very high. Although his current strength is not weak, it is still not enough. What's more, the meaning of strengthening points is to make yourself stronger, so what are you saving for? After strengthening, Muyun opened his attribute panel. Host, Muyun. Age, 6. Physique, 60. Strength, 60. Speed, 60. Spirit, 60. Chakra, 2005. Strength assessment, Shengnen, close black lens bracket. Look at your properties. Data, Muyun nodded with satisfaction. This feeling of strength growth can really make people addicted. Okay, you have all seen Yun's strength. Now I think you have all relieved your worries. Now let's make an introduction to each of you. Uchiha Itachi said with a smile when he saw that others had no doubts about Muyun's strength. Muyun took the lead in saying, "You can call me Yun, the strength of the ninja, the all-round ninja." With the balance of Muyun's attributes, it is no exaggeration to say that he is all-powerful, whether it is illusion or physical skills, they are all elite. As for ninjutsu, with the thunder fruit, he basically can't use ninjutsu, but he is more or less able. My name is Huahu, I am strong in forbearance and good at fire escape. My name is Feng Bird, and I am strong, and I am good at wind escape. My name is Civet Cat, I am strong in ninja, and I am good at perception ninjutsu. After the introduction of the 3 people, Muyun can be regarded as having a preliminary understanding of his teammates. The strength is all Shangnin, and it can be regarded as a guarantee to perform tasks in the future. Then Uchiha Itachi organized everyone to have a dinner, and it was considered to be familiar with each other. What surprised Muyun was that the Civet Cat was actually a female ninja, and she was also very beautiful. She was a contestant of the royal sister type. With long curly hair, bright beautiful eyes, a high nose bridge, and most importantly, those red lips, it is very attractive. To be honest, Muyun was amazed. This was the first time he had come into contact with a mature beauty so closely. The charm of the Civet Cat is much stronger than that of Ino. Civet pursed his lips and smiled, and said to Muyun, "Yun, your eyes are very hot." "Hee, my sister's name is Koizumi Yumi, remember?" Seeing Yumi Koizumi's charming appearance, Muyun felt uncomfortable for a while. If it wasn't for her age, Muyun would definitely tease this royal sister well. It's a pity that the body is still a child now, and it is simply powerless. But Muyun is not without the slightest way. He stretched out his hand and put it on Koizumi Yumi's little hand, and a trace of untraceable lightning was released directly. For a moment, Yumi Koizumi trembled all over. A tingling feeling stimulated her mind and instantly made her feel it. With a blushing face, he slapped Muyun's hand away, and Koizumi gave Muyun a wider look. Firefox and Fungbird's eyes widened. They had been partnering with Yumi Koizumi for so long, and they didn't even say a word apart from the mission. The most important thing is that they only now know the real name of Yumi Koizumi. In an instant, the expressions of Firefox and Windbird became very exciting. Chapter 48 A-Level Mission. Whether it's Firefox or Fangbird, it's interesting for my sister-in-law and beautiful teammates, but now it seems that the two of them have no chance. For a while, the two showed a look of pity on each other, very helpless. Uchiha Itachi looked at all this with a smile and didn't speak. Most of the time, he was a taciturn person. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed, the Anbu base, the Itachi team lounge. Uchiha Itachi suddenly appeared and said, "There is a new mission. The ninjas of Sand Ninja Village have frequently appeared on the border of the Fire Nation recently. Daimyo asked Konoha Village to dispatch ninjas to find out the information, and Naruto-sama handed over this mission to the country. Our team. Everyone, prepare, although this mission is only to detect information, but it does not rule out the possibility of fighting. If you encounter a ninja from Sand Ninja Village on the way to the mission, a battle may break out. Due to the particularity of this mission, the mission level is tentatively set to be A." Saying that, Uchiha Itachi looked at Muyun. "Yun, this is your first mission, or is it an A-level mission? Is there any difficulty?" Muyun shook his head and said lightly, "Don't worry, although it is the first time to perform a mission, I am looking forward to it." Uchiha Itachi nodded without saying much, and said directly, "Meet here at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and leave on time." After that, Uchiha Itachi disappeared in place, and Firefox and others also left the lounge to prepare the things needed in the mission. But Muyun was a little excited. The choice to join Anbu was indeed right. The first mission was an A-level mission. If it ended normally and led by the guide Shangjin, Dingtian would be a C-level mission. Immediately, Muyun also prepared, and had a meal with Ino and Hinata in the evening, but he didn't mention the task. Ino could feel Hinata's feelings for Muyun, and Muyun didn't seem to refuse. It's a pity that although Ino was a little jealous in his heart, but now he has developed deep feelings for Muyun and can't leave Muyun. Of course, the most important thing is that Muyun's attitude towards Ino has not changed in the slightest, except that there is a young field in the middle. Early the next morning, Muyun and the others left the village and went to the border between the land of fire and the land of wind. On the way, Uchiha Itachi said, "Everyone, the nature of our mission this time is just to listen for information, so it is absolutely not allowed to take the lead until it is necessary to avoid provoking the two countries." War between. Muyun asked curiously, "I can understand that you don't want to start a war, but what if the other side shoots first?" Uchiha Itachi's eyes changed, and he said coldly, "If the other party shoots first or encounters a situation where he has to shoot, kill." The last word was uttered, and a faint murderous aura was released. Itachi Uchiha was never a soft-hearted person, nor was he pedantic. In order to avoid provoking a war, he can do nothing, but that doesn't mean he will kill him. Feeling the faint murderous aura released by Itachi Uchiha, the murderous aura in Muyun couldn't help bursting out, and instantly swept the audience. Muyun killed so many people in the Hyuga family, and the murderous aura on his body was very terrifying. Once released, the other 4 people were shocked. Neither Uchiha Itachi nor the 3 teammates would have thought that Muyun had such a strong murderous aura at such a young age. It was simply terrifying. Uchiha Itachi took a deep look at Muyun, and immediately understood that Muyun, who looked like a child, was not a good person. And Koizumi Yumi looked at Muyun with a splendid look in her eyes, not knowing what she was thinking. Muyun and his party are all powerful, so after 2 days of rushing, they have arrived at the frontier post of Konoha against the Kingdom of Wind. Have the ninjas of Sand Ninja Village appeared again during this time? Uchiha Itachi asked Kamanin, the guard at the forward outpost. Shaking his head, the guard Junin said, "It hasn't appeared, at least I didn't find it. If I hadn't been able to shoot at will, let alone leave the post, how could they be so arrogant?" Uchiha Itachi just politely responded to the guard's words, and seemed to be a little unconvinced, while the other three smiled faintly and couldn't deny it. But Muyun's face was very serious, because he recognized this ninja. The resolute face and the scar on the right corner of the mouth all indicate the identity of this ninja, Baiyun Morning. Baiyun is good at wind escape and swordsmanship in the morning, and his strength is enough to rank among the elite Jonin. Even if he is better than Kakashi, he is not weak at all. Of course, this is only the case when Kakashi doesn't turn on the kaleidoscope, but this is already very strong. Baiyun felt the disdain of Uchiha Itachi and others in the morning, and felt a little uncomfortable, but when he observed Muyun's calm appearance, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. Although Muyun wore a grimace mask, Baiyun could still feel Muyun's emotions in the morning. Chapter 49 Sand Ninja Attack. It's not good. In the morning, the ninjas of Sand Ninja Village have appeared again. At this moment, a ninja rushed to the frontier post and reported. Suddenly, the expressions of Baiyun Morning, Muyun and the others changed, and they hurriedly walked out of the post. When they came outside, seeing the situation outside, everyone took a deep breath, and their faces were full of astonishment. I saw that there were at least hundreds of ninjas from the Sand Ninja Village outside. And the leading ninjas are all Shangnin, and there are 7 people in total. One of them, Muyun, also knew that it was Maki who temporarily took the position of Fengying after the death of the 4th generation of Fengying. Morning Junin, long time no see. Maji took a step forward, looked at Baiyun Morning with a face of iron blue, and said hello, with a touch of disdain on his face. Baiyun said in a deep voice in the morning, "Maki Joinin, you brought so many ninjas to my Konoha outpost, do you want to fight my Konoha village?" Maki sneered and said, "Junin, don't talk big, can you represent Konoha? Or, can these people around you represent Konoha? Besides, I brought so many ninjas this time, can't you see it? As long as you are all dead, there is no proof of death. The most important thing is that with the character of the 3 generations of Hokage, it is impossible to fight with my Sand Ninja Village because of your death." Baiyun's face was ashen in the morning, and he said loudly, "Maki Junin, do you think you have settled for us? Once the war starts, we may not survive, but how many of these ninjas you brought will survive?" Maki said with a smile, "Of course the strength of the Morning Junin is very strong. I have no certainty of winning, but because of the existence of the Morning Junin, our Sand Ninja Village suffered heavy losses. More importantly, because of the Morning Junin, our control over this area is extremely weak, so even if we pay a big price this time, we will not hesitate." In fact, there is another sentence Maki didn't say. Because of Baiyun's iron-blooded wrist and tyrannical strength in the morning, their Sand Ninja Village has less and less information about Konoha, and almost all the information lines are cut off. Therefore, if Sand Ninja Village wants to continue to obtain information on Konoha, he must kill Baiyun Morning. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the system task. Close black lens bracket. Task name, Blood Washing Sand Ninja. Close black lens bracket. Task introduction. Konoha was attacked by Sand Ninja on the front position of the Land of Wind. Please kill the Sand Ninja that the host will commit in the future. Solve the conspiracy of the Sand Ninja. Close black lens bracket. Task completion reward, 5,000 enhancement points. Close black lens bracket. Punishment for mission failure, none. Close black lens bracket. Muyun took a step forward impatiently, and said in a deep voice, "Stop talking nonsense, since you are here, prepare to be killed. Even if you want to leave now, it's impossible." Facing the temptation of 5,000 reinforcement points, Muyun didn't want to give up. To know that if you kill one Shangnin, you can only get 300 enhancement points. 5,000 enhancement points can only be obtained by killing nearly 20 Shangnin. Now is not the time of war. Where can he find so many Shangnin to kill? Now there are only 7 Jonin on the field, and even if they kill them all, they can only get 2,110 enhancement points. So Muyun made his choice almost instantly. Maki glanced at Muyun, then turned to Baiyun Morning and asked, "Morning Shangren, who is this kid?" Whoosh! Before Baiyun could answer in the morning, Muyun's figure burst out, and the dazzling thunder light surrounded his body, and instantly came to Maki's side. "If you want to fight, fight, how come there is so much nonsense?" Thunder kick. The kick that flashed with the dazzling thunderlight was kicked out to Maki's chest, and Maki was kicked and flew out before he had time to cross his arms in front of his chest. Under this foot, Maki's arms directly showed irregular bending, the pale bones were pierced and the flesh was exposed, and the bright red blood was flowing. In the process of flying upside down, Maki's body knocked down a lot of sand ninjas, and for a while, a ninja rolled to the ground like a gourd. The first few Chunin who were knocked down by Maki died as a spurt of blood, which shows how terrifying the power of Muyun's kick. Maki. A sand ninja Junin's face instantly became extremely serious, and a teleportation came to Maki's side. "Maki, how are you alright?" Maggie's face was pale, and he said very weakly, "I'm fine, I must kill this kid. He has such strength at a young age, and he can't be allowed to grow up. Otherwise, once it grows up, it will be a disaster for our sand ninja village." Although Muyun was wearing an Anbu uniform and a grimace mask, it was not difficult for Maki to judge the age of Muyun. Placing Maki's body flat on the ground, the sand ninja shinobi shouted, "One Junin to hold Baiyun Morning, and the rest of the Junin and I attack this kid together. Remaining ninjas, take care of the other ninjas in this post." Chapter 50 Last words. Keep it simple. After the sand ninja finished speaking, he directly took the lead in rushing towards Muyun, and the other ninjas rushed towards Muyun. Only one sand ninja Junin stopped Baiyun Morning, who wanted to come forward to support. "Morning Junin, you should stay here obediently, don't go up and obstruct our actions." Too done, too long bomb. That sand ninja Junin made a seal with his hands, and a huge earth dragon bullet roared towards Baiyun in the morning with great power. In the morning, Baiyun pulled out the short sword behind him, vacuum sword. With the swing of the short sword, the wind blades instantly cut on top of the earth dragon bullet, and the next moment, the huge earth dragon bullet suddenly collapsed. "Konoha Junin, Baiyun Morning, you can't get out of your body today." Baiyun jumped up in an instant in the morning, the dagger in his hand swung so tightly that the dense light of the sword shrouded sand ninja and Junin. Wind escape, 1,000 faces of wind. Sand ninja Junin avoided Baiyun's attack in the morning while forming a seal with his hands. In an instant, thousands of small wind blades collided with the airtight sword light. There was a burst of sparks. Baiyun and sand ninja Junin retreated at the same time in the morning. At the same time, Muyun was also caught in the siege of 5 Shangnin, but Muyun's heart was not disturbed. Wind escape, big breakthrough. A sand ninja Junin spat out a large amount of whirlwind from his mouth and swept away towards Muyun. Shave. Muyun's body disappeared in place in an instant, the big breakthrough suddenly failed, and a pothole of several meters was created on the ground. Razor, coiled. Muyun's body appeared on the side of the sand ninja Junin, his palm rested on the opponent's shoulder, and a thunder snake flew out of Muyun's arm in an instant, wrapping around sand ninja Junin's body. The next moment, the razor broke out instantly, the violent thunder and lightning flickered wildly, and the sand ninja Junin suddenly turned into a charred corpse. Tuden, too long gun. At this time, a dozen hard stone spears glowing with cold light instantly appeared behind Muyun, and stabbed at Muyun's back fiercely. Seeing that the stone spear was about to stab Muyun, but Muyun's body did disappear again at the critical moment. Sand ninja Junin's eyes widened in search of Muyun's figure. "Are you looking for me?" The faint voice came from behind, and Sand Ninja Junan's expression suddenly stiffened, and drops of cold sweat flowed down from his forehead. Thunder kick. This Sand Ninja Junin only heard these 3 words, and it was completely dark in front of him. In just a few seconds, the 5 Junin. 2 have already died in Muyun's hands. The other 3 Sand Ninja Junin looked at each other with deep fear in their eyes, but they still dared to bully them. Fire escape, dragon fire technique. Fire escape, great fireball technique. Wind escape, tornado. The compound ninjutsu used by the 3 Junin is extremely powerful. The fiery heat wave bakes the earth red, and the air is slightly distorted. Muyun's face changed slightly, and a lot of thunder and lightning gathered in front of him. Thunder leopard. A 10-meter huge leopard took shape in an instant, roaring towards the terrifying flames with its teeth and claws, tearing the flames with ease, and then continuing to charge towards the 3 Sand Ninja Junin. The gap in strength is really too big. Compared with Muyun, who has no shortcomings, the strength of these 3 Sand Ninja Junin is simply not enough. No, back. The 3 Sand Ninja Junin looked at each other, and all pulled back. It's just that Muyun's attack is so easy to dodge. Lei Bao closely chased behind the 3 Sand Ninja Junin, and instantly devoured the last Sand Ninja Junin. In an instant, the Junin was turned into a charred corpse by the violent thunder and lightning, and then turned into a piece of flying ashes. Seeing this scene, the other 2 Jonin suddenly felt horrified, and they split their heads and swept to the rear. Naive. Muyun curled his lips in disdain, and with a wave of one hand, the Lei Bao suddenly split into 2, and in an instant he caught up with the 2 Shangnin and devoured them directly. The fate of these 2 Jonin was the same as the previous one, and they all turned into ashes. After dealing with the 5 Junin, Muyun came to Maji's side. Maji Joinin, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. Today, you all stay here. At this time, Baiyun had already killed the Sand Ninja and Shangnin in the morning, and the other ninjas of Sand Ninja were all Chunin. If it was normal, Baiyun was dragged in the morning and could indeed slaughter the frontier post. But it is a pity that the current frontier post has 3 Muyun's Shanjin teammates and Uchiha Itachi. The result is naturally self-evident. These Sand Ninjas were wiped out. Ahem, it's really us who planted it this time. It's a pity that these excellent ninjas in our Sand Ninja village, you guys should be damned, damn it. But don't be complacent, little brat, we have already notified Mr. Halozang who is nearby to meet us. After so long, it is estimated that Mr. Halozang will arrive soon. By then, you will all have to die, ha ha ha. Puff. A lightning bolt pierced through Maggie's head in an instant. Last words should be simple, don't make this mistake again in your next life. Chapter 51 Crazy Sea Old Tibetan. Is it all resolved? Uchiha Itachi threw off Ku Wusheng's blood and asked Muyun. Muyun nodded, looked at Baiyun Morning and said, Morning Shangnin, let all the other ninjas at the post retreat. It is estimated that soon, the shadow-level powerhouse Hailaozang of Sand Ninja Village will arrive. Although the old guy is already old, the shadow-level powerhouse is a shadow-level powerhouse after all. It's just a loss of life. Baiyun's expression became serious in the morning. What? Shadow-level powerhouse? What is Sand Ninja Village trying to do? Did you really want to go to war with a moving movie-level powerhouse? Muyun's voice sank. In the morning, I don't have time to sigh. If you don't want all these people to die here, then hurry up. The old man is here today, and none of you Konoha ninjas want to leave. Before Muyun's words were finished, an old voice sounded instantly, and at the same time, a huge momentum that belonged to shadow-level powerhouses instantly swept the audience. Everyone's heart froze. The shadow-level powerhouse Hailaozang is here. ... Hailaozang stood in front of Maki's corpse, looking at the slaughtered Sand Ninja. His body was full of murderous intent, and his body trembled slightly with extreme anger. Originally, with Hailaozang's character, it was difficult to be so angry, but the tragic situation in front of him still made him unable to bear the murderous intent in his heart. Fire escape, dragon fire technique. The angry Hailaozang didn't have any unnecessary nonsense at all. The powerful flames roared out directly, and the flaming dragon with a scale of several meters exuded a terrifying high temperature and slammed down on Muyun and others. Shadow-level powerhouses are worthy of shadow-level powerhouses. The same ninjutsu, but the power is fundamentally different from the dragon fire technique used by Shangnin. Water escape, the technique of the Great Waterfall. Uchiha Itachi gathered his predecessor's chakra, and a huge water flow suddenly appeared, affecting the flame dragon. Fire Fox, Wind Bird, go all out. Civet, stay away from the battle scene immediately. Yun, play freely, let's go together. Uchiha Itachi grabbed Yumi Koizumi's arm with one hand and threw it hard to the back, and Yumi Koizumi shot back instantly. Since Yumi Koizumi is a perceptual ninja, her combat power is at most an elite chunin, and she can get the strength rating of the ninja only because of her excellent perceptual ability. Uchiha Itachi took Firefox and Feng Bird to fight with Hailaozang, and Bai Yun was covering the retreat of other ninjas in the morning. Muyun looked at Hailaozang, who went mad, and said in a deep voice, "System, use 5,000 strengthening points to strengthen my body." System tasks. The reward has just arrived. Facing a shadow-level powerhouse like Hailaozang, Muyun must do everything possible to improve his strength. Host, Muyun. Age, 6. Physique, 75. Strength, 75. Speed, 75. Spirit, 75. Chakra, 3005. Strength assessment, Shangnin, close black lens bracket. With the use of 5,000 reinforcement points, Muyun's strength suddenly increased a lot, and all the limbs and bones showed an endless power. At this moment, Muyun's gaze towards Hailaozang was full of fighting intent. Shave. Whoosh. Muyun's body disappeared directly in place, leaving only a few throbbing lightning in the air. Thunder kick. The terrifying kick wrapped in violent thunder and lightning directly kicked Hailaozang's right arm, and Hailaozang's body suddenly slammed out like a kite with a broken string. In mid-air, the flesh and blood on Hailaozang's right arm exploded, and even the entire right arm became charred black, and there was a trace of lightning entrenched on his right arm. Although Hailaozang is a shadow-level powerhouse, after all, he is already old and his body functions are declining. Facing the terrifying speed of Muyun, he can't react at all. It would be fine if Muyun was just fast. The key point is that this guy is almost omnipotent. There is no way, the Thunder Fruit is so domineering and unreasonable. Muyun, you. The expression on Uchiha Itachi's face suddenly changed. Muyun's speed was really too fast, almost to the extreme. Just now he just felt a flash in front of him, and Muyun kicked Hailaozang with one kick. You must know that this is still the result of the help of Sharingan's abnormal dynamic vision. Otherwise, Uchiha Itachi may not feel Muyun's movement at all. Although the current Uchiha Itachi has not turned on the kaleidoscope, the speed of Muyun is still terrifying. Just now, Muyun not only used shaving, but also stimulated his leg muscles with lightning, so the speed directly broke through the sky. What Yunyin's Lei Dun Chakra mode can do, of course the Thunder Fruit can do it, and it can do it even better. After all, Raiden would not be obediently at the mercy of Union Ninja, but in Muyun, he was very docile. This is still when Muyun did not use elementalization to move with the speed of thunder and lightning itself, otherwise, Uchiha Itachi wouldn't even know the location of Muyun. As for why not to use elementalization, it is because the speed of lightning is already equal to the speed of light, and Muyun's mental power and reflex nerves cannot be controlled. Chapter 52 Kill Hailaozang. If Muyun uses elementalization to move, it will instantly appear thousands of meters or even 10,000 meters away, and it cannot be used for battle at all. Muyun estimated that at least he would have to wait for his mental power to break through 100 points before he could use the speed of elementalization to fight. Rao is so, Muyun's speed is unparalleled. Hailaozang's body stood up from the ground, and there was still a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. The ninja's body is generally not strong, and after suffering from Muyun's full-strength kick, Hailaozang's entire right arm has been completely abolished. As a ninja who uses the ninjutsu to fight with the seal, Aizang's combat power has been weakened by more than half. Fire escape, fire dragon fire bomb. Hailaozang didn't seem to feel the pain from his right arm. He made a difficult seal with one hand, and a large group of fiery fireballs spewed out of his mouth, roaring towards Muyun. The scorching flames made the ground turn red, and the fire dragon bullets that gathered the chakras of Hailaozang's whole body were extremely powerful. Muyun's body flickered, easily dodging the attack of the fire dragon flame bullet, and his body appeared directly not far from Hailaozang. Goodbye, the shadow-level powerhouse of Sand Ninja Village, Hailaozang. Lightning. With a wave of Muyun's palm, a bolt of lightning instantly fell from the air. Although Hailaozang was aware of the lightning coming, he couldn't do it even if he wanted to avoid it. After all, the speed of lightning is really fast. Boom. The lightning hit Hailaozang's body head-on, and the powerful force blasted the ground out of a pit of several meters, while Hailaozang's charred body was lying quietly in the pit. What a joke, is this really what Lei Dun can do? Koizumi Yumi's eyes widened, unable to accept the information from her perception ninjutsu. With a wave of your hand, a bolt of lightning fell from the sky, without the need for a seal. It was almost instant. Is this really a thunderbolt? Or is the blood following the limit? Koizumi Yumi couldn't be sure, but one thing was beyond doubt: with such a fast attack speed, almost no one could escape. Coupled with the terrifying speed of Muyun, that is to say, once an enemy encounters Muyun, he can only be beaten passively, and cannot attack Muyun at all. What an amazing vitality! Muyun came to the side of Hailaozang's body and saw that Hailaozang's chest was still slightly heaving. Although his body was severely injured, he still didn't breathe. Is it the effect of chakra? The ninja's body is not strong. It is impossible to bear his own head on. The only possibility is that chakra has played a protective role. Lightning blade. Muyun's index finger and middle finger were close together, and the dazzling thunder light extended from the end of the finger. Facing Hailaozang's body, Muyun waved his finger. The splendid thunder light swept across, directly splitting Hailaozang's body in two from the middle. Blood spewed out mixed with internal organs, and Hailaozang, who had already reached the end of his force, died instantly. Ding! Congratulations to the host, beheading the shadow-level powerhouse Hailaozang, rewarding 1000 reinforcement points. Close black lens bracket. Muyun was a little surprised. You can only get 300 reinforcement points by killing one Shangnin, but the shadow level actually gives 1000 reinforcement points directly. This is definitely a surprise for Muyun. Yun, well done. Uchiha Itachi came to Muyun's side panting heavily, reached out and patted Muyun's shoulder, sighing in his heart. The child in front of him is the same age as his younger brother, but his strength has already caught up with him, or even surpassed it. If he were to face the shadow-level powerhouse Hailaozang alone, although Hailaozang was already in his twilight years, it would definitely be a tragic victory if he wanted to win. But Muyun killed Hailaozang at almost no cost. This strength is absolutely terrifying. Bai Yun came to Hailaozang's body in the morning and said in a deep voice, "Although this battle ended with our victory, I have to tell you some bad news. Aizang is the younger brother of Chiyo of Sand Ninja Village, and Chiyo is a senior of Sand Ninja Village, and he can even interfere in Feng Ying's decision. The most important thing is that Chiyo is extremely narrow-minded and extremely vengeful. If he learns that Hailaozang died at the hands of our Konoha ninja, he will definitely not give up." When Uchiha Itachi heard the words, his face became heavy. If you say that, Chiyo might use this excuse to start a war against Konoha. Bai Yun shook his head in the morning and said, "You are wrong, it is not through this excuse. With Chiyo's character, it is impossible to use the death of his own brother as an excuse. But taking revenge on Konoha is certain, and there will definitely be a war at that time." When Uchiha Itachi heard the words, he suddenly fell silent. War is always a topic that makes people silent. Muyun said indifferently, "Everyone has been killed, is it still useful to say this now? Since this war is unavoidable, it is better to think about how to deal with the crisis at that time. Morning Junin, don't forget, once Sand Ninja starts a war, your forward outpost must be Sand Ninja's first target. Chapter 53 Coming War. In fact, strictly speaking, Mu Yun's killing of Hai Laozang really meant a war. The reason is very simple. If Mu Yun wants to become stronger, in addition to doing tasks, he must also kill the enemy. Only on the battlefield can Mu Yun get the most benefit. Bei Yun pondered for a moment in the morning, and said, "You are right, then please go to the village to inform Lord Hokage, tell Mr. Hokage what happened here, and let the village prepare for the war. And I will continue to stay here, the Sand Ninja village will come at any time, and the forward post cannot be lost. As for my life, it's in your hands. If you arrive at the village sooner and the reinforcements arrive at the post sooner, my danger will be reduced by 1 point, and the post will be able to be preserved. So, please." Saying that, Bai Yun bowed deeply in the morning. Hearing the words, Mu Yun said, "Itachi, you take the civet cat and the others back to the village, and I'll stay here to help the morning Shangjin guard post." Uchiha Itachi heard the words and said in surprise, "Why? Yun, you should know that even if we go all out, it will take at least a day and a half to reach the village. In a day and a half, enough Sand Ninjas will attack, and by then, the forward outpost will become the most dangerous place." Uchiha Itachi didn't understand Mu Yun's decision very well. At such a critical moment, Mu Yun actually stayed and took the risk. It was only the first time that Bai Yun met him in the morning. There was no need to risk his life for a ninja he just met, right? Koizumi Yumi also hurriedly said, "Yun, you have to think about it clearly, this matter is not a joke, if there is a slight error, you will lose your life." Mu Yun waved his hand, "No need to say more, I have already decided, so my life or death is up to you." Yumi Koizumi wanted to say something, but Uchiha Itachi raised his hand to stop her. "Yun, I respect your opinion, we will rush back to the village immediately, be careful." From Mu Yun's eyes, Uchiha Itachi saw firmness. He knew that Mu Yun's decision would not be changed. Now the most important thing is to rush back to the village as soon as possible to move in reinforcements. Bai Yun frowned in the morning and said, "Although I don't know your true identity, Yun, are you sure you want to do this? With your talent, becoming a shadow-level powerhouse is almost a certainty, there is no need to accompany me to die here." Bai Yun didn't want to see a talented ninja fall in the morning. Here, Bai Yun had given up hope for survival in the morning. You must know that even if Uchiha Itachi and the others rushed back to the village as quickly as possible, it would take at least 5 days to move in reinforcements. 5 days is enough for a lot to happen. Mu Yun knew that if he didn't give a reasonable reason, even if Uchiha Itachi promised to let him stay here, Bai Yun would definitely not agree in the morning. Although he could ignore Bai Yun's opinion in the morning, he didn't want to do it. "This," Mu Yun said, "I caused the disaster, and I killed Hai Laozang. It's not my character to walk away. Besides, as a ninja, who is not torn between life and death?" Bai Yun's slightly wrinkled brows in the morning calmed down and said, "Okay, this is an excellent ninja. From now on, no matter life or death, you will be my Bai Yun's best friend in the morning." The corners of Mu Yun's mouth curled slightly under the mask. The reason why he stayed here was not only to improve his strength, but also to have a good relationship with Bai Yun in the morning. You must know that Bai Yun morning is an elite Shangnin, and his strength is extremely powerful. For a person who has no foundation, getting the friendship of an elite Shangnin can be regarded as a help. After Uchiha Itachi instructed Mu Yun, he took the civet cat and left the frontier post. Before leaving, Koizumi Yumi also volunteered to stay and help Mu Yun, but she was rejected by Mu Yun. Mu Yun stayed here because he had absolute certainty of being alive, but he had no certainty to guarantee Yumi Koizumi's life. Once the battle broke out and the sword had no eyes, Mu Yun didn't want such a royal sister and beauty Shang Xiaoyu who was interested in him to die. After seeing the backs of Uchiha Itachi and others disappearing from sight, Bai Yun looked at Mu Yun in the morning and said, "Yun, if the war does break out, please ensure your own life. You are the hope of Konoha village. If there is a crisis, I will cover you to leave safe and sound even if I try my best. Muyun looked at Baeyun Morning seriously, and said, Morning Shangnan, please don't treat me as a child. No matter what time, the real powerhouse will never run away. In fact, Muyun also understood Baeyun's mood in the morning, but if he stayed here to escape, he didn't need to stay at all. Baeyun ignored Muyun's words in the morning and said, I'm going to arrange for the ninjas in the post to take defensive measures, sorry. The war cannot be sloppy, it does need to be prepared in advance. Chapter 54 Chio's Killing Intent, Angered 3. Watching Baeyun leave in the morning, Muyun's heart suddenly surged with anticipation, an anticipation for the upcoming war. At the same time, Muyun's whole body's blood began to boil, and he didn't know how his strength would be improved once this war broke out. It may not be able to reach the shadow level, but it is definitely not difficult to get the evaluation of the system elite Junin. Meanwhile, Sand Ninja Village. Lord Chio, according to the news from the forward post, the ninja army led by Maki Junin was stubbornly resisted by the Konoha ninjas, and the entire army has been wiped out. After the incident, Mr. Halo Zhang personally took action, but he was already killed in battle. It is suspected that a powerful thunder ninja came to Konoha's forward outpost, and his strength is temporarily determined to be a shadow-level powerhouse. Chio, who was enjoying the leisure time of fishing, suddenly got this news, and her old body suddenly trembled slightly. Before she knew it, the fishing rod in Chio's hand slipped directly from her hand and fell into the lake, and the fish that had just been hooked also broke free from the hook. Sad tears flowed from Chio's turbid eyes, and he said fiercely, if I don't take revenge for this, I swear by Chio that I will not be a human being. Pass my order, all the high-level officials in the village come to Feng Ying's office for a meeting. Messenger Ninja hesitated slightly and said, Sir Chio, isn't it inappropriate to convene a high-level meeting without first reporting to Lord Feng Ying? After all, the top leader of Sand Ninja Village is Hokage. Although Chio has great power and Yue is still there, this is already a major violation of power. When Qiandai heard the words, a heavy killing intent erupted from his body, and he said fiercely, there's nothing wrong with it, now it's my younger brother who died in the battle. I still have this right as an old woman. Besides, my younger brother has made so many contributions to Sand Ninja Village, and he is one of the few shadow-level powerhouses in the village. Now he was killed by Konoha's ninjas. If they don't have an attitude, I believe that most of the ninjas in the village will also won't agree. His own son died at the hands of Konoha White Fang. Chio always wanted revenge. Although White Fang was dead, Konoha still existed. Now that his only relative was killed by the Konoha ninja, Chio's hatred for Konoha was unprecedentedly high. The messenger ninja froze in his heart, feeling the heavy killing intent on Chio, and no longer dared to say more, and directly convey Chio's order. After the ninja was ordered to leave, Chio's aura instantly disappeared, and he muttered, Konoha, you kill my son first, and then killing my brother. This hatred for me, Chio, if he can bear it, he is not worthy of being a human being. Chio soon came to Hokage's office. At this time, all the high-level officials of Sand Ninja Village gathered in the office. It's just that the face of the fourth generation of Feng Ying is not very good-looking. Elder Chio, I am also very angry about the matter of Elder Halaozang, but it doesn't seem right for you to go directly past me and summon the senior leaders of Sand Ninja. The sharp eyes were instantly fixed on Chio, and the aura of the shadow-level powerhouse on the fourth generation Feng Ying suddenly burst out, causing a gust of wind in Feng Ying's office. Chio unabashedly released his aura to compete with the 4 generations of Hokage, and said solemnly, My old lady, what I did is a little inappropriate, but this matter is no trivial matter. My younger brother has made outstanding contributions to the Sand Ninja Village, and this revenge must be avenged. Besides, Maki and the others have been wiped out, and I have suffered heavy losses, so Kawai-sama won't leave it alone, right? If that's the case, not only me, but also the people present won't agree. As Chio's voice fell, most of the ninjas in the entire office nodded in cooperation with Chiyo. Although Chiyo is old, the foundation is still there. This time, she is obviously here to force the palace. Seeing that the effect was almost done, Chiyo said, "After the war with Konoha is over, I will hand over all the rights in my hands, withdraw from the elders, and never ask about any events in Sand Ninja Village." 4 generations of Feng heard the words. A smile appeared on his face. This bargaining chip is not bad. Looking around at the ninjas present, the 4 generations of Kage said, "Sand Ninja Village has entered the pre-war preparation stage. Gather the ninjas in the village, led by the elder Chiyo, to launch a war against Konoha." With the issuance of the order, the entire Sand Ninja Village suddenly fell into a boil, and at the same time a large number of ninjas began to gather. On the other hand, Uchiha Itachi and others also felt Konoha village and conveyed the news to the 3 generations of Hokage. When the 3 generations of Hokage heard the words, they were immediately furious and held a high-level meeting. At the meeting, they were uncharacteristically and decided against all opinions. Once Sand Ninja Village has the intention of going to war, Konoha will resolutely challenge it. At the same time, the ninja troops led by Hatake Kakashi and Matekai also gathered towards Konoha's outpost against the Country of Wind, and went to support Baiyun Morning and Konoha's first genius, Muyun. Suddenly, the curtain of war slowly opened. Chapter 55. All parties reacted. Sand Ninja attacked. The cloud of war shrouded Konoha village, and it also shrouded Sand Ninja Village. Such large-scale preparations could not be concealed, and other ninja villages also received news one after another. Cloudy Village. Konoha and Sand Shinobi have entered a state of preparation. Has the news been confirmed? The 4th Raikage put his hands on the table and confirmed it to the intelligence ninja. Lord Raikage, the news came from the spies we arranged in the 2 shinobi villages. It is absolutely reliable. The intelligence ninja got down on one knee and said respectfully. A smile appeared on the 4th generation Raikage's face. Stay on the sidelines, maybe we, Yun, will also participate in this war. The 4th Raikage is a true militant, and for war, it is exactly what he expects. Rock Hidden Village. Are Konoha and Sand Shinobu going to go to war? The order goes on, everyone is on standby at any time, and once there is a suitable opportunity, we Iwaken will also go in and get a share of the pie. There was a smile of an old fox on the face of the 3 generations of Tukage Onogi. This upcoming war, isn't it an opportunity for their Yenian village? The 5 great ninja villages, the 5 great nations, the Konoha and the Fire Country have the most abundant resources. Why does every ninja war break out? Isn't it caused by uneven distribution of resources? Yenian village is definitely not rich. So Onogi also wants to take advantage of the war to develop Yenian village. Fog Hidden Village. A charming smile on the corner of Terumi Mei's mouth. It's really interesting. Is the 4th ninja war coming soon? Send intelligence ninjas to watch the dynamics of the major ninja villages at any time. We will not participate in the battle unless we have to. Having said this, Terumi Mei's face became serious. But if there is an opportunity to take advantage, we must not miss it. The strength of Wuyin village is weaker than that of other ninja villages. Wuyin, who has experienced the blood fog period, has not a lot of reserves, and the high-end combat power is even more pitiful. However, the situation of the war is changing rapidly, and maybe it is possible to take advantage of this opportunity to make up for the previous losses of Karayan. Don't think that Terumi Mei is a beauty and will be soft-hearted, and no one who can become a Mizukage is a waste. From a certain point of view, Terumi Mei's methods are more ruthless than the shadows of other shinobi villages. In the blink of an eye, 2 days have passed, the cloud of war shrouded the entire forward outpost, and almost all Konoha ninjas have deep worries on their faces. Even the tyrannical Baiyun Morning. In the morning, you don't have to worry too much. What should come will always come. When soldiers come, they will block water and cover with soil. What are you afraid of? Seeing Bai Yun's sad face in the morning, Mu Yun couldn't help but comfort him. Bai Yun nodded in the morning and said, "That's true. In fact, until now, I have already put my life and death aside, but these ninjas who follow me to guard the post are innocent. Once the war broke out, I didn't have time to take care of them at all. Under the attack of the Sand Ninja Army, I don't know how many people will survive." Mu Yun frowned and said, "In the morning, remember, no one is innocent in this world. From the day they become a ninja, no matter who they are, they should expect this day to come. So I believe that they are all ready, and what you are saying now is not an insult to them." In Mu Yun's view, the ninja world is a place where the weak eat the strong. From the moment they choose to become ninjas, death has long been their final destination. "Morning Lord, Yun Lord, Sand Ren's main force is already within 5 kilometers of the outpost, and I believe it will arrive in 10 minutes. After seeing Mu Yun's formidable strength and sturdy record, the entire post except for Bai Yun Morning, without exception, used the honorary title for Mu Yun. It has nothing to do with age. Bai Yun suddenly changed color in the morning. "It's really here, what a sand ninja, what a Chio." Before that, Bai Yun still had a bit of fantasy in the morning. After all, compared to the overall strength, Sand Ninja Village is definitely inferior to Konoha Village, but Sand Ninja Village is going to war. "Assemble all the ninjas and prepare to fight." Bai Yun gave an order with a dignified face in the morning, and all the ninjas in the entire outpost gathered outside the outpost. Looking at these Konoha ninjas in front of him, Mu Yun shook his head and said that they were all ninjas, but there were only about 20 people. However, because they are the guardian ninjas of the outpost, none of these ninjas are below the strength of Chunin. Think about it, how could the 3 generations of Hokage send some trash to guard such an important place as the frontier post? Although it is said that there will be no accidents under normal circumstances, but if you are not afraid of 10,000, you will be afraid of what will happen. If Sand Ninja makes a surprise attack, why not stop the food? Although compared to the large army, these ninjas are just a man's arm and a car. Chapter 56 Thousands of Ninjas. Everyone, according to the investigation report, the large army of Sand Ninja Village has appeared 5 kilometers away. This time, war is unavoidable. Maybe all of us here will die here. Tell me, are you afraid? Bai Yun stood at the front of the team in the morning and asked loudly with a sullen face. All the ninjas shook their heads and replied, "Don't be afraid." Bai Yun nodded gratified in the morning and said with a smile, "This battle is for us to protect Konoha, but also to protect our family, so when the battle breaks out, please do your best to kill Shanin. For Konoha, this battle will be won." As soon as Bai Yun's words fell in the morning, the voices of more than 20 ninjas sounded in unison. "For Konoha, this battle will be won. For Konoha, this battle will be won." ... Looking at Bai Yun who was boosting morale in the morning, Mu Yun smiled. This guy succeeded in driving the fighting spirit of the ninjas in the audience. In the war, the fighting spirit is very important. Although it is illusory, the side without the fighting spirit will definitely suffer a big loss in the battle. It can be seen from this that Bai Yun is not only powerful in the morning, but also his mind is the best choice. With majestic fighting spirit, Mu Yun and others finally ushered in their own enemy, the Sand Ninja Army. "Hi!" Seeing the scene in front of them, many ninjas gasped directly. As far as the eye can see, there are all black heads, far from the edge. It is roughly estimated that the number of sand ninjas attacked this time is at least tens of thousands. Tens of thousands of ninjas, how terrifying is that? It's enough to push through any obstacles that stand in your way. Seeing the forefront of the Sand Ninja Army, Chio looked at Mu Yun and the others with a murderous look on his face. Those murderous eyes made Mu Yun feel a little terrified. Sure enough, this old man is really narrow-minded. Didn't he just kill your brother? A look of bitterness and hatred. Bai Yun said heavily in the morning. Chio actually led the team. This is trouble. Although Chio has entered the dying years, the strength of the shadow-level powerhouse is no joke. Even if Mu Yun had a record of killing Hai Laozang, he seemed so pale at this moment. Even if Muyun shot and killed Chiandai, but tens of thousands of ninjas attacked, even if Muyun was extremely powerful, it would be useless. The power of individuals is so powerless in the face of such a large-scale war. Looking at the entire ninja world, the ninjas who can quell such a large-scale war by themselves, Bai Yun can only think of two people in the morning. Ninja Shira Uchiha Madara and the first generation of Minaruto, the god of ninjas, Senju Hashirama. Boy, are you Bai Yun morning? Chiyo saw Bai Yun morning standing in front of the Konoha ninja team at a glance. As for Muyun, Chiyo subconsciously ignored it. In Chiyo's eyes, a mere brat, she can be crushed to death with one finger, and she doesn't need to care at all. The only thing Chiyo cares about now is Bai Yun morning and the shadow-level powerhouse that Konoha appeared in the information, who is suspected of using Thunder Dun, that is, the culprit who killed her brother. Corners of Bai Yun's mouth twitched slightly in the morning. The name, boy, has not been heard since graduating from the ninja school, and I didn't expect to hear it again today. But looking at Chiyo's old appearance, Bai Yun was relieved in the morning. With Chiyo's age, it's not an exaggeration to call him a boy. Are you Chiyo from Sand Ninja Village? I wonder why you would lead such a large-scale ninja army to the border of our country of fire. Although he knew Chiyo's purpose, Bai Yun asked as usual in the morning. After all, the process that should be taken still has to go. Bai Yun couldn't afford to carry the reputation of starting a war in the morning, and Konoha couldn't afford it either, and he didn't want to. What are you doing? Naturally, he came to avenge my brother. You Konoha ninja brutally killed the top of our Sand Ninja Village, do you think we are here to celebrate? For Bai Yun morning, Chiyo didn't have a good face, all because Bai Yun morning was good at swordsmanship. As long as he saw the dagger on Bai Yun's waist in the morning, Chiyo couldn't help but imagine the appearance of Hatake Tsukumo in his mind. It's strange to have a good face. Vengeance. Bai Yun's face sank in the morning, but you brought so many ninjas to the border of the Land of Fire, clearly wanting to start a war. Seeing that Bai Yun started to argue with Chiyo in the morning, Muyun said impatiently, in the morning, what are you talking about? Old man, if you want to fight, you will fight, where is there so much nonsense? You have so much time to waste, I don't. If you don't want to fight, go back to your Sand Ninja Village, don't talk nonsense here. Chiyo's face shook, glaring at Bai Yun morning and said, who is this kid? Bai Yun morning, is that how you educate your subordinates? Hint of helplessness on his face, Bai Yun said in the morning, Yun is not my subordinate, but my best friend, and what he says is mine. Chapter 57 Start the war, start the killing ring. Chiyo said with a gloomy face, then can his words also represent the meaning of Konoha? Bai Yun was speechless in the morning, only 3 generations of Hokage can represent Konoha, he can't answer this. Chiyo snorted coldly, HMPH, let's not talk so much nonsense, what about the shadow-level powerhouse who killed my brother? Let him come out and see me. At this moment, Chiyo only has the word revenge in her heart. For her, the death blow of her younger brother is really too big. At her age, it is not bad to have someone who can be with you all day long, not to mention her younger brother. It's too loud, Chiyo, don't forget, this is the Konoha frontier post, not a place for you to roll around. Muyun frowned, Chiandai's attitude made Muyun a little unhappy, how dare he let him get out? If it is true that there are shadow-level powerhouses as Chiyo said, where does Chiyo have the confidence to get people out? What's more, what Chiyo said was him. Muyun was of course very upset. Bai Yun was also upset in the morning, and said, there are no shadow-level powerhouses, but it was Yun who killed your brother. Yun is the so-called shadow-level powerhouse you're looking for. Chiyo looked at Muyun with wide eyes, what? He is the murderer of my brother. How is that possible? My younger brother is a real shadow-level powerhouse. Although he is old, he is not something that such a kid can kill. My younger brother can crush him with just one finger. You Konoha don't want to tell the truth, don't you think I'm old and confused to find such a kid to perfunctory me? Even Sarutobi Hizen would not dare to perfunctory me like this. Muyun frowned and said, "Old man, whether you believe it or not, I killed your brother. How dare an old sick cat like that dare to fight? It's just vulnerable." Chiyo looked at the reactions of the Konoha ninjas, and a ridiculous thought popped up in her heart. Could it be that her brother was really killed by this kid in front of her? In an instant, Chiyo's eyes became murderous. No matter whether Muyun killed it or not, today Chiyo will let Konoha pay his debts with blood. Give it to me and kill all these Konoha ninjas. Chiyo gave an order loudly with a ferocious look on his face. The next moment, tens of thousands of ninjas immediately started, and one by one ninjutsu came over the sky, and one by one, Kuu occupied the sight of Muyun and others. Muyun's figure left the place for the first time. Facing this kind of attack jointly launched by tens of thousands of ninjas, the current Muyun is still unable to be hard-headed. But Muyun believes that only to give him time, one day, he will be able to end a war head-on by himself. Although the attacks launched by tens of thousands of ninjas looked extremely powerful, they actually did not cause too many casualties. Because Konoha's ninjas all avoided the attack in advance, after all, it is not a one-on-one battle, and it is not difficult to avoid it. What a killing intent, old man. Thunder kick. After Muyun's body disappeared in place, he appeared directly in front of the previous generation, and immediately kicked out with a kick wrapped in violent thunder and lightning. Although Chiyo couldn't avoid the speed of lightning, his fighting consciousness was much stronger than that of Hai Lao Zhang, and he directly sacrificed a puppet to block in front of him. Crack, boom. The next moment, Muyun's lightning speed kicked heavily on the puppet's body cracked instantly, and then exploded directly, turning into debris in the sky. Call out. Little devil, you are still too young. At the same time as Chiyo stepped back, a kunai was thrown out of his hand. The dark purple light glowed on the kunai, and at first glance, it was quenched with poison. Shave. Muyun's body disappeared in an instant, and the poisonous Kuu was nailed to the ground. Muyun's body stopped not far away. Looking at the pothole with white smoke, he said lightly, "It's so sinister, old guy. I don't want to play with you anymore, go and harvest the heads first." At this moment, the two ninjas had already collided fiercely. The 20 or so ninjas on Konoha's side seemed very insignificant in front of the tens of thousands of ninjas in Sand Ninja, and 7 or 8 died as soon as they collided. Except for Bai Yun, who was holding a dagger in his hand in the morning and killing the quartet, the others were almost struggling to support it. Muyun's body flashed with dazzling thunder, and instantly rushed into the crowd of Sha Ren. With the flashes of thunder, countless screams suddenly came out, and a large number of stumps and broken arms flew directly into the air. With Muyun's strength, basically one punch can easily blow Chunan's head, not to mention the lower end, even the upper end. Under Muyun's terrifying speed, it doesn't take a long time to struggle. A single thunderbolt can take away the lives of several Chunin or even dozens of Genin, and with a single punch, whether it is Genin or Chunin, it will explode. If you kill a Genin, you can get 50 reinforcement points, a Chunin is 100 reinforcement points, and a Shengnin is 300 reinforcement points. Today, I'm going to start a killing spree. Chapter 58 Thunder Spear. The dazzling thunder light kept flashing on the battlefield, and the terrifying speed made Muyun feel like no one, and a Mingsha endured to die in Muyun's hands. Seeing his strengthening points continue to soar, Muyun's heart is full of excitement, and sure enough, war is the shortcut to become stronger. Damn it, kid. Chiyo's eyes were splitting as he looked at Muyun, who was killing all directions on the battlefield. Blood was dripping in his heart. These are the reserve ninjas of his Sand Ninja village. The ninja reserve in each village is not much, only about 40,000, and most of them are still under the ninja. Most of the ninjas that Chiyo brought this time were Chunin, and there were not many lower tolerances. In other words, Muyun killed all the Chunin of their Sand Ninja village, and they were the backbone. Chiyo intends to stop Muyun's killing, but her speed is like a tortoise compared to Muyun's, and she can't keep up with Muyun's movements at all. Chiyo, who had nowhere to spread the fire, looked at Bai Yunzan. I can't stop you. Kill Bai Yunzao first, and kill all your Konoha ninjas. Chiyo red eyes, and directly fought with Bai Yun in the morning. The superb puppet technique used, so that Bai Yun's pressure in the morning suddenly increased. Bai Yun's strength is indeed strong in the morning, but Chiyo is a real movie-level powerhouse. It's not bad that Bai Yun can last for a while in the morning. With the passage of time, Bai Yun's morning form also took a turn for the worse, and he was on the verge of dying at the hands of Chiyo. Mu Yun, who observed this scene from a distance, sighed, and in the blink of an eye, he came to Bai Yun's side in the morning. A thunder and lightning shot out, and immediately forced Chiyo with a ferocious face back. Leave this old woman to me, you go hunt other ninjas in Sand Ninja Village. Looking at the embarrassed Bai Yun morning, Mu Yun said without looking back. Bai Yun knew in the morning that he wouldn't be able to help him by staying here, so he nodded and wanted to leave. Don't think about it. As soon as Chiyo moved, he wanted to intercept Bai Yun morning. Razor. At this moment, a lightning snake shot towards Chiyo in an instant. If Chiyo was determined to stop Bai Yun morning, she would also be hit by the thunder snake. Faced with this situation, Chiyo had to stop her actions. She didn't dare to use her body to test the power of Razor. Boom. The razor that lost its target directly attacked the ground, and the terrifying thunder and lightning vented out, and a scorched black hole with a radius of more than 10 meters appeared on the ground. Chiyo's forehead shed a few drops of cold sweat. Fortunately, he didn't choose to fight hard, otherwise, even using chakra to protect his body would be enough, and he would be seriously injured if he didn't die. Puppet Art, 3 Machine Exercises. Chiyo, with a look of fear on his face, threw out 3 puppets and attacked Mu Yun at the same time. Mu Yun's body instantly disappeared in place, and appeared behind a puppet, Thunder Fist. A fist flashing with lightning landed heavily on the puppet's back, but Mu Yun was a little surprised that his punch only left a few cracks on the puppet's back, not directly. Destroy the puppet. Kid, my puppet is made of top-grade materials, and the only person who can violently destroy it is your Princess Tsunade of Konoha. I have never seen a second person who can do it. A look of disdain appeared on Chiyo's face. If her puppet could be destroyed so easily, then Chiyo would have died 100 times. Listening to Chiyo's boasting, Mu Yun smiled lightly. Really? Then you will meet today, the second person who can destroy your puppet. Thunder Spear. A trace of thunder and lightning jumped in the air, and with the voice of Mu Yun, it condensed into 3 spears of thunder, exuding a terrifying aura. Whoosh! With the wave of Mu Yun's arm, the 3 thunder spears shot out at once, attacking Chiyo's 3 puppets at the same time. Fast, extremely fast, unparalleled fast. I saw a flash of lightning, and with a stab sound, the heads of Chiyo's 3 puppets burst directly at almost the same time, turning into debris in the sky. Immediately after the violent thunder and lightning directly wrapped the body of the puppet, the 3 headless puppets suddenly turned into fly ash under the violent lightning attack, leaving no trace behind. After destroying the puppets, the 3 thunder spears fell into the ninja army of Sand Ninja Village unabated. In an instant, a terrifying thunderbolt exploded and swept the surrounding area of more than 10 meters. Dozens of sand ninjas were directly wiped out under the attack of thunder and lightning and disappeared into this world. Chiyo's face was extremely ugly. She didn't expect Mu Yun to actually be able to destroy her puppet. Mu Yun's threat is really too great. A casual attack can take away more than a dozen sand ninjas' lives. Such a terrifying thunder ninja, Chiyo has lived most of his life, and he has never heard of it. Even the group of muscular men in Union Village who are famous in the ninja world for thunder escape can't do it. An absurd thought popped up in Chiyo's mind. Maybe Mu Yun wasn't using an ordinary lei dun. Chapter 59 Temporarily Retreat. Chiyo knew that he underestimated Mu Yun, and the lack of intelligence caused him to greatly underestimate Mu Yun's combat effectiveness. Most importantly, Chiyo didn't have the confidence to win Mu Yun in a short period of time. Thinking of this, Chiyo gathered up his chakra and shouted loudly, "The ninjas of Sand Ninja Village listen, retreat immediately. As Chiyo's voice fell, tens of thousands of ninjas moved in unison and retreated directly to the rear, and Bai Yun did not order to pursue them in the morning. Muyun didn't block it. Even if he blocked it, it would be useless. Now, he can't kill tens of thousands of ninjas. Soon, the ninja troops of Sand Ninja Village were stationed 10 kilometers away from the forward post. Obviously, this time it was only a temporary retreat. Watching the retreat of the ninjas in Sand Ninja Village, Bai Yun looked around in the morning, and suddenly felt a hint of desolation. Of the 20 or so ninjas who originally followed him, there are only 3 left. These 3 are all ninjas with special strength. Needless to say, all the others died in this battle. Seeing Bai Yun's expression in the morning, Muyun stepped forward and said, "In the morning, there is no need to be sad, war is always accompanied by death. Although they all died in battle, they were also in order to protect their homeland, so they deserve to die." Why didn't Bai Yun understand this in the morning? But these are the brothers he gets along with day and night. Muyun frowned and said, "Sand Ninja Village is only retreating temporarily. This time they suffered from the loss of not knowing the information, so they retreated. I don't know when they will come back. I guess Chiyo is now discussing ways to deal with me. Once the countermeasures are discussed, it is estimated that they will launch an attack. We must take this time to take a good rest." Bai Yun nodded in the morning and said, "I think so too. When the next battle comes, you have to be more careful. This old guy Chiyo is ruthless and tricky, don't force it." Muyun nodded, came to the residence that Bai Yun arranged for him in the morning, and began to count his gains this time. 4,700 reinforcement points. Seeing this, Muyun burst into a foul language in an instant. In less than half an hour, he actually obtained so many reinforcement points. In addition to the 1,000 reinforcement points obtained by beheading Hai Laozang, there are a total of 5,700 reinforcement points. What does 5,700 reinforcement points represent? It means that Muyun must kill at least 57 Chunin. The system, using 2,000 of strengthening points, strengthen the 6 naval styles, use 3,700 strengthening points to strengthen my body. Strengthening points are used to improve strength, and Muyun used these 5,700 strengthening points almost without hesitation. For a moment, Muyun felt that there were a lot of insights and cultivation insights about the 6th naval style in his mind, as if he had been immersed in the 6th naval style for decades. At the same time, Muyun also felt that his body was slowly being strengthened, and a trace of strength flowed out of his limbs and bones, and gathered in his body. Host, Muyun. Age, 6. Physique, 80. Strength, 80. Speed, 80. Spirit, 80. Chakra, 6,000. Strength assessment, Shengnan, close black lens bracket. Looking at his attribute panel, Muyun frowned and said, "The further you go, the harder it is to improve your strength. I didn't expect that the 3,700 enhancement points only increased each attribute by 5. However, chakra broke through the shadow level. With Muyun's body getting stronger, chakra can be said to be a latecomer, and now he has thrown away other attributes and has reached the level of shadow. According to Muyun's speculation, I am afraid that chakra is the easiest to improve among these attributes, right? At the same time, in the Sand Ninja Station 10 kilometers away, Chiyo held a meeting in his tent. "Everyone, you have all seen that Konoha's little devil who uses Lei Dun is very powerful and very difficult to deal with. The reason why we retreated this time was because of insufficient intelligence. Now we must find a way to deal with this kid." A Sand Ninja Junin said, "Elder Chiyo, I don't think it is Lei Dun. In my ninja career, I have never seen such a powerful and unreasonable Lei Dun. I think it may be a kind of blood inheritance." Limits. Chiyo frowned. "Whether it's Lei Dun or Shuiji boundary, the most important thing for us now is to find a way to deal with that kid. I admit that I underestimated him. Being able to become Konoha Anbu is definitely not that simple. You have seen it today. With that kid here, even if we can win, the loss will be very terrifying." For the difficulty level of Muyun, Chiandai also has a headache. The speed of terror almost makes Muyun invincible, and she doesn't have the slightest chance to kill Muyun. Chapter 60 Muyun is trapped. The entire tent was silent, and no one commented. Just kidding, they have all seen Muyun's perverted level. With such a terrifying speed, there is almost no way to check and balance, unless there is a ninja with the same speed to hold the other party. But obviously, their sand ninja village has no contact with speed ninjas at all. Flash of disdain flashed in Chio's eyes, and he said, I have a way. Tonight, we are waiting for an opportunity to raid the Konoha frontier outpost, and the 4 Junin will follow me to find the location of that kid. Then use the 4-sided enchantment technique to trap him, and then I will take care of that kid myself. Originally, during the battle today, Chio wanted to use the 10 people of Jinsong to kill Muyun, but after seeing the terrifying speed of Muyun, he gave up this idea. Because Chio knew that even a group of 10 people from Jinmatsu would have no way to take Muyun's terrifying speed, so she chose to retreat. A sand ninja Junin said, Elder Chio, then please. Since Chio has their own ideas, they will not arbitrarily refute, regardless of the feasibility. Anyway, if they fail, they do not have to take responsibility. Seeing a NASA ninja nodding like garlic, Chio pouted. How could Chio not know what was going on in their hearts? But there is no way. Chio, who is eager for revenge, cannot give up revenge just because of a shepherd cloud, so he will be a dead horse and a living horse doctor. At the same time, the ninja troops led by Kakashi and Matekai were also rushing on their way tens of kilometers away from the Konoha frontier outpost. Kai, do you feel it? Chakra's fluctuations are very violent. Kakashi frowned, turned and asked Matekai. Matekai scratched his head and said, Kakashi, you know, my perception of chakra is not very keen, but since you perceive it, it means that the ninja of Sand Ninja Village has arrived. Kakashi nodded. I sensed a huge number of scattered chakras. If nothing else, they should be the ninjas of Sand Ninja Village. Looks like the battle has started. Matekai's face instantly turned serious. Youth is not allowed to be wasted, nor is it allowed to travel slowly. Kakashi, speed up. Hearing this, Kakashi shook his head. No, we have been traveling with all our strength for 2 days for a long time. Even if we can stand it, others can't stand it. Well, Asma, you continue on your way with the team, and Kai and I will go first. Step. Asma nodded. Okay, I hope we can catch up. You and Kai go quickly. As soon as Asma's voice fell, Kakashi and Matekai increased their speed and quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. Night fell quickly, and Chio took a small number of elite ninjas to the frontier post. Muyun, who was resting with his eyes closed, opened his eyes instantly and walked out of the room. As soon as I went out, I saw Baiyun mourning with the same dignified expression. Morning. It looks like we can't spend the evening quietly. Looking at each other, Baiyun nodded in the morning and shouted loudly, enemy attack. In an instant, the remaining 3 ninjas rushed out of the room. The next moment, the ninjutsu smashed over the sky one by one, breaking the silence of the night. Muyun's body quickly disappeared in the attack range of the number of people, and when he reappeared, he was surrounded by 4 ninjas and Chio. Ninja. Safang barrier. The 4 sand ninjas stood on one side, their hands formed a seal, and a formation directly surrounded Muyun and Chio. Little devil, you are still too young, today is your day of death. Chio looked at Muyun with a ferocious look on his face. Chio's hatred for this murderer who killed his own younger brother was extremely strong. Muyun looked at the enchantment that surrounded him and said, Old woman, you have become smarter. With that said, Muyun's brows could not help but slowly wrinkle. The spirit formation ninjutsu greatly weakened his speed. In such a small area, his speed can't play much effect. Chio said ruthlessly, stop talking nonsense, just stay here today. White secret technique, 10 people in Jinsong. Chio directly took out the 10 people from Jinsong, and in an instant, 10 puppets directly surrounded Muyun. Muyun's face suddenly became serious. and Mu Yun, the famous name of the 10 people in Jinsong, has naturally heard of it. This can be said to be the strongest trump card of Chio. I didn't expect this old guy to use a big move as soon as he came up to deal with him, and it's shameless. Turning his head to look outside the barrier, Bai Yun was already in a hard fight this morning, not to mention the other 3 ninjas, who were already panting heavily with scars. Mu Yun sighed. It seems that there is no hope of breaking this barrier from the outside. Chio smiled grimly and said, "Don't expect Bai Yun in the morning, he can't protect himself now, you are dead today."